Halfway between Dublin and Belfast is the little seaside village of Annagassan and this charming old pub and restaurant, the Glyde Inn. When you walk through the front door, it's hard to imagine the view from the terrace behind the bar.
My grandfather worked on the Queen Mary as a baker, and then he took over the bakery here next door and bought this property in the 60s. And my parents took over then in the 70s and just operated it as a pub. In the 90s then my mum started doing a little bit of food, maybe a soup and sandwich and that sort of thing. And then it just got busier and busier, and then in 2000 we extended the restaurant here with the view, and we haven't looked back since.
And I know with this area there's a big connection with the Vikings.
That's right, yeah. Back in 841, believe it or not, this was the capital of Ireland. So we would have had about 5,000 Vikings living in this area. And apparently it is one of the largest Viking settlements in Europe. And we've put together a virtual reality story of how the Vikings came here to Annagassan and how they lived here. We've a brand new Viking ship table put into the restaurant. And when people hear the story, they lift off the Viking helmets, and then the largest seafood platter you could imagine is going to be out in front of them. And then we've got our own Viking beer that goes really well with the seafood. It's going to be a fantastic experience that's going to link in really well with the sea loud.
Now I'm here because obviously for seafood, so tell me about your menu and what offerings you have here.
Well, depending on what the boats are getting at the minute. So at the minute, the boys out here are all out for cockles, and you've got crab, you've got lobster, you've got hake, you've got haddock, and you've got prawns. All available for special in there tonight. So whatever the boats come in with, we stick it on the menu there.
And is seafood popular here?
It used to be about 70 to 30% in terms of meat and seafood. It's flipped completely around now to 70% seafood, 30% meat.
Now what dish is Tony going to cook for me today?
So today Tony is going to use our local Annagassan lobster tail with clotterhead hake and sea kale, which he foraged himself this morning, and his own secret sauce.
He's been a busy man.
He has been busy, all right, yeah.
Well, I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Lovely talking to you now.
And you too. Tony starts by placing the hake in a little rapeseed oil and seasoning it generously on both sides. He puts oil and butter into the pan and squeezes in some lemon juice before adding the fish, which is interesting because normally lemon is squeezed on at the last minute. Bacon lardons are cooked in butter and oil. Then Tony adds in onions and the foraged sea kale into the saucepan. The cooked lobster claw and the chopped and cooked lobster tail are added to the pan with the hake, just to warm them through. This is a very generous plate of fish. That looks fantastic, Tony.
Enjoy it, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love hake, so I do. Beautifully cooked. And the lobster just melts in the mouth. That is so good, such a beautiful dish. Thank you, Tony.